So you were browsing through the internet and you stumbled into strange patterns. For example, TikTok is asking how familiar you are with the phone model, or Reddit asks you to install their app to see some of the subreddits. Or even Mr. Privacy Man Zuckerberg tried to trick you into installing his malware by disabling your account. Maybe your phone has already pre-installed Facebook and you got zucked, and you have to root your phone to delete this malicious app. Well, you're starting to see most of the websites and apps use dark patterns. The use of the dark patterns in the UX design is well known and studied phenomenon. It has been shown that these techniques create false urgency or social proof. It takes advantages of human tendencies such as laziness and even tricks users into giving up their personal data. A recent study found that dark patterns are utilized across the web. In fact, the top 10 most visited sites in the world use at least one dark pattern technique to lure their people and increase conversion rates. It can cause a lot of problems and dissatisfactions. So, how you can spot and avoid UX dark patterns? Before we even start avoiding it, do we know what the most common UX patterns there are? There are tons of shady practices, but we will talk about the most common ones. Most of the bait and switch tactics are disguised with free trials, but we need to put our credit card and social security number first. Fake data or information is put forward which highlights a particular user interested, and when the user shows interest, information changes independently. Bait and switch is a trick that companies use to secure a large number of clicks. The most famous one is the Microsoft one, in 2016, where Microsoft used it so people would upgrade their operating system to Windows 10. Even though you click the X button, which in Windows means you close the window or tab, it started automatically installing Windows 10. Another pattern which you can encounter a lot is that they disguise the ad. You can encounter it in most not so legal websites like torrenting websites and so on. Whereas the download button is hidden in the sea of fake download buttons which install various extensions and maybe malicious software on your computer. Another place where you can encounter it is through news media websites where ads are disguised as articles and there is a higher chance that people will click on it. And it redirects to the random websites where they are suggesting you to buy lose weight fast pills or something like that. Another UX pattern is privacy zuckering. It means that you are tricked into publicly sharing more information about yourself than you really intended to. Here is how it works. When you use a service, the data terms and conditions give you the permission to sell your private information to anyone who buys it for them. Data brokers purchase it, combine it with available information about you, and then sell it on the market. Data is the new oil. Another relevant option is misdirection. You can often see this in the accept cookie pop-up. The biggest call to action button is almost always directed to accept all the cookies website provides. Roche Motel design makes it easy to access a single place, but it can be difficult to leave it. For instance, an annual subscription. For example, on Amazon website it's extremely hard to cancel your account, but most of the time you will encounter this type of subscription on random web projects and adult sites. FOMO, fear of missing out. I think it's the most used dark pattern you can encounter, especially in get-rich-quick courses and cryptocurrency. When the time is available, seats are going down, there is a higher percentage of people who will not want to miss this amazing opportunity, especially if it's JPEG from Fiverr. I mean NFT with a huge potential. Of course, it's often used in limited supply offers, which creates urgency. Maybe you encountered it through ads. A lot of dropshippers have done this. In the ads they said the product is free, but when you add it to the cart you only need to pay for a shipping. Sometimes the prices even increase while you're moving through the steps. An example would be, the product page shows the price is $50, but when you add it to the cart it changes to $70. You might think what happened, but often than not, there is written that the price of $50 applies if you buy 3 of the products. Social proof is another dark UX pattern. Most of the time it's used in predatory online courses where the creators fake their reviews. Always check if the reviews are real and that the person is not some stock footage person. Also, it's easy to fake it. You can buy fake reviews almost on any site. There are services providers who focus on that. Even on sites like Amazon, a lot of sellers farm reviews to boost their products on search. Sometimes it's impossible to see which reviews are real and which ones are fabricated. Triggering fears work in health and beauty products most of the time. For example, an ad or landing page information can trigger a user by saying if they don't use this product, they can get negative consequences. It's vastly unethical to use this kind of pattern. Another tool in the shed is shaming. Shaming is mostly used when you're canceling a subscription or declining something. For example, a website prompts you a window and asks you if you really want to quit this website because you will lose the opportunity to participate in the whitelist. Or, do you really want to quit a website and you don't need this extra spice information about next trends? Shame confirm works great when people want to cancel a membership. Often gyms are using it by saying that you want to stay weak and unhealthy. Of course, it's exaggeration, but you get the point because you're smart. So now you know what the most common dark patterns. So what problems do they generate? Most of the problems are long term. For example, if users are getting a bad experiences using your site or services, they will advocate that your business sucks. Most of these brands get backlash in the long run. As negative reviews pile up, it will be a higher chance that people will pick your competitor. Users today are more aware than before. They prefer simple and straightforward content. So if you complicate a lot of stuff, people will abandon your services. Make sure your brand doesn't pay attention to the tricks and gimmicks which do not represent the user's interests. If you have integrity and trustworthiness, your relations with your clients will improve. And if there is no loyalty and trust, your users will go amiss. So in the long run, your brand image will be hurt. And for users, if you see a malicious activity brands are using, you can stop using their services and write a negative review. So as a user, always read reviews before subscribing or buying something. Watch and read some reviews on YouTube and Reddit. Yes, it can be fake too, but you will have a better understanding of the product. Don't fall into these kinds of malicious activities of the projects and business. Stay safe.